Today we're at Cloverfield Farm again, and there's no Susan. And for the first time in the Cloverfield series, you're gonna see the face behind the camera that is usually behind the camera. And here I am. So it's January, and look at this. The weather is still, warm enough, and there is plenty of things in the garden. We're gonna pick some things for our herbal tea. So calendula flowers. First of all, it's beautiful. It's medicinal, calendula. It's beautiful in the salad, just to pick some petals off and sprinkle it on the salad makes your salad really fancy. Or what I do usually, I dry the whole flower and use it in my herbal tea. So we're gonna pick some of the flowers today here. And here it's a different color of calendula. So it's kind of interesting because if you combine the two, the more yellow and the orange one in your salad, it just will add a sprinkle of different color to it. And but it's also good for the herbal tea. So it's the same flower, just different color. Now, as long as I'm here by the calendula plant, calendulas are annuals. So every year you have to reseed them, which is really easy. You can see here there's a lot of dry seed heads. So these are seeds, calendula seeds, that you can just throw around, and it will come up from the seed. And actually right here around, all these reseeded themselves and they come back every year. So calendula flowers are medicinal, and they have healing qualities. With these flowers you can make tinctures and use these tinctures on your skin if you have some lesions or cuts, scrapes. And also, while we're here is a little plant of rosemary. You usually don't need a lot of rosemary to spice up your food, your chicken or your meat, but here it is. So you can use, just pick up a little twig here, again dry it up, and you will have a bunch of rosemary for quite a few dishes. This bed is kind of dormant. It's a mint bed, and you've seen it in other videos of Cloverfield Farm where it's full of mint. Again, for winter time, the bed been cut down, but the root system remained in the bed. So right now it's really early spring for this bed, and they just started to come up, send out little shoots of mint. So we're gonna add that to our herbal tea mixture. Borage. So borage, you've seen borage in other Cloverfield videos. It seemed like it's blooming through the whole season non-stop, and right now in winter time you could see that it suffers, has mildew on the leaves, which means its immune system is down and it doesn't feel as good as in the middle of summer. But we still have some tops that are free of mildew and some flowers that we're gonna add to our herbal tea. This is an edible rose. In one of my previous videos about Cloverfield, this rose was featured, and there's almost no flowers now. It's all gone except for, I got one and I got two. I'm gonna add them to my tea, and they smell like rose, really nice. They're gonna go in my tea too. Oh, there are nasturtiums. Just a few flowers. I'm not gonna add them to the tea though, but they're so fun in a salad, in a fresh salad. Also they add color, and they're quite spicy. The whole flower and the whole plant actually is edible. And they're spicy, peppery. Similar to mustard. Here's some mustard greens right there, and nasturtiums have similar flowers taste. It looks like sorrel, but it's not. It's a relative of sorrel, and it actually grows wild everywhere. And here it's part of the garden, but kind of like part of the spill out of the garden. And right now, because it's really early spring for some plants, it's still winter for some, and early spring for other plants. But for this plant, it's early spring. So it puts up very tender leaves right now. Later in the season, in summertime, it's going to be rough and not the same flavor. But these ones, raw, they're not that good, but cooked, if you add them to your dishes like spinach or kale or any kind of like steamy vegetable dish, they actually become soft and tender. They need very little cooking, and the lemony flavor will come up and will liven up your greens. Next thing, what I'm gonna pick a bunch of greens for my greens combo dinner tonight. I already have those, and these are fava beans, and usually people eat the bean itself, but the fresh tender leaf and top of the plant is very good. It's like a pea flavor, but not exactly like a pea or a bean. So we're gonna actually pick some of these, and I'm gonna cook them tonight with other greens. And you can see how lush they are. For them, this is the peak of their growth. They're not flowering yet, but they're fully grown and very tender, so they don't mind growing in California winter. For them, it's not winter at all. This is Bok Choy, and it's not very fat Bok Choy, but we're gonna find a few fat leaves like this, and I'm gonna add them to my green mixture for tonight. And with this, while we're here, chicory. We're gonna get some chicory, and chicory is bitter. But at this time of the year, they're very, very tender. So, and bitter taste is actually good for us. And bitter taste is something, it's one of the important tastes in Chinese medicine, for example, that we need, our bodies need, and we don't have enough of it in our diet, in our Western diet. You know, they make bitters especially to stimulate liver and to stimulate digestion. So we will just add the bitter here into our green combo here, and we're gonna add some cilantro. And I know some people hate cilantro and other people love cilantro. I think you cannot be neutral to cilantro. It's either love or hatred. I happen to love it. Right here in the back, we have mustard greens. That I can add to my collection of greens here. They're very crunchy, very tender right now. Beautiful. And chard. Look at this chard. It's almost black. Amazing. So here we have such a variety of different greens, and I know that some people, they prefer to be more, I guess their taste buds organized differently. They do like a side of chard or a side of bok choy. So they do a certain green, but also mainly because if you go to a store, that's what you get. You get a bunch of something one, or then you get a bunch of something else. But here there's such a variety, and variety is always good. Variety for our health is good. So I'm a type of person that likes to put totally different things in my dish, and pretty much it comes out really unique flavor and pretty good every time. Sometimes I screw up, you know, when I put something one extra, which is like, maybe that shouldn't be there, but most of the time it's unique flavor and mixing what I have. And here we have a lot of variety, so I'm looking forward to this particular mixture of greens on my plate. Kale, it's the dinosaur kale, and it looks like a dinosaur a little bit. So we're gonna get a few leaves of this plant, and this has been growing here from last year, so that's why it's so huge, and it's been picked. The leaves down there have been picked already. So we got tender tops, and there we got more kale, smaller, and we're gonna get some from this too. And there's more kale, which is probably was planted this fall. So this one is from last year's summer, and this was planted this fall. So this is younger plants. Okay, so for today we got a bunch of things for tea, and we got a whole bunch of things for a green dish, big green medley. By the way, if you enjoy these videos, sign up for my channel. It's free and you'll get more videos about all kind of gardens and all kind of gardening tips, about plants that you maybe never heard of, and some other fun stuff.